responsible parent will know only too well the cliché that we only want what's best for our child. Yet in this ever-changing world, parents find it immensely challenging to know quite what is best for their child. What may have seemed for our parents' generation that was best, but today would seem quite basic and simple. What is best for our children today isn't always seen as being just part of the parents' idea of what is best. Throughout the journey of life, we have around us those who can advise us what surely is best for our children, for their development, for our future in work, even our leisure, to make sure that our whole well-being is as best as it can possibly be. My youngest granddaughter was 1 in August. And to commemorate the anniversary of her birth, a visit was made by the health visitor, just at the time when I was round there in the morning. And I listened with great interest, and seeing and observing from a distance the expressions on my daughter's face. For a 1-year-old, is she walking? My daughter said, well, of a sort. 2 steps forward and then straight down on the back side. What about words? Well, she's not saying very much at the moment. Oh, well, as a 1-year-old, she should be saying at least dada or mama or something. Now, my daughter is inclined to be somewhat outspoken. I've got no idea where she gets that from. But anyway. And I thought to myself, if only the ground would open up as grandfather looks on. Because, and I knew what she was going to say, she then turned and said, well, the problem is that you teach them as quickly as possible to say the words. And then after a while you think, why did I get them to say so many words when they just don't seem to shut up from 1 minute to the next? So the expert was on hand for that. And then, of course, the experts continue as the child develops. They go through the various aspects of education. We have the various advocates in school. We have school counselors. We have academic advisors, career specialists. In work, we have professional bodies that can help in our career development. In domestic life, we have citizens' advice, marriage counsellors, life coaches. I've never had a life coach. I must say that's where I've gone wrong. In domestic life, as I've said, we have all those who try to inspire us, even behind our closed doors. It would almost seem that we no longer have little control over our own lives, but instead are programmed to carry out light-switch patterns through the eyes and ears of many professionals. However, sometimes we may feel that we who are parents are those round holes and our children are the square pegs. For what we would like to enable our children to fit into is not always what they have their mind. The other day I was listening to a young man who had done a first in history at St Andrews University in Scotland. He loved Scotland so much, but eventually realised that the only place to get a good career would be down in London. And so, arm in arm with his first in history, he ventured forth to go to various museums and galleries and various other places seeking work. He found it immensely difficult, challenging, but eventually found somewhere to work. It wasn't quite the job he wanted, but even so, it was the job. His parents were delighted, believing that working in London he would do well, he would have a good salary, he would have all the trimmings that he could possibly require. Both Mum and Dad were proud of their son. And yet were somewhat astounded by, within a year, he had moved down to Cornwall. He had left London altogether because he could not afford accommodation. What income he did receive just dwindled away to such an extent that he had no social life. He failed to meet many friends, if any at all. He found London to be a lonely, dreary existence. So he went down to Cornwall and worked in a McDonald's in Truro. His parents were horrified at this. What could you possibly want to work in a McDonald's? And his response was this: I have made so many friends. The money is poor, but at least I can live. The surroundings are most beautiful, and I am as happy as I have ever been before. The parents of these two disciples, James and John, who we read of earlier today, longed for their sons to do well. We don't know much about Zebedee. No, he didn't have a spree in an awful place. But Zebedee was, we understand, well thought of. He was an intelligent man. Possibly was a teacher or someone who had high standing within society. And it was expected of him, of his sons, to carry on in a similar line of work, as all sons would be expected to do. The mother, however, we do know a little bit more about, because it happened to be, her name was Salome. And Salome is, of course, very much associated with the latter days of our Lord. She was the one who comes with Mary, Mary Magdalene, and comes to the tomb to anoint Jesus. She was, in fact, it is recognized, a relative of Mary, the mother of Jesus, believing to be first or second, third, fourth, or fifth cousins. We're not really quite sure, but they are related. Therefore, if these two sons did not wish to carry on within the family business, surely at least with the family connections, there would be an opportunity for them to do well. And what better connections to have than to be related to the Son of God? This surely was their call to receive the best that Jesus could possibly enable them to have. But what do we interpret as best? Perhaps best is so often we see the best as that which enables us to do even better. But Jesus' interpretation is different. The best is for those who are servants, to serve others and not your own self-gratification. This week, we have seen or heard of two remarkable people. One I have mentioned already, Felix. Felix Brungar, an inspiration to many people if you just fancy jumping out of a balloon of 128,000 feet, that is. But he's also quoted in saying that he has not just done this as some great spectacle, but he is hoping that people in the scientific world can learn so much from what he has achieved. But another person who struck to my mind this week is a young girl at the age of 14. Her name is Malala. She's a 14-year-old Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban in retaliation for her education. You may know that she's undergoing, at this moment, treatment in a Birmingham hospital. And what inspired me so much about her was there was a girl who, in her own words, was determined to dress in her bright pink dress, to stand out against the crowd, to stand out and also to Twitter and in various other forms of multimedia to bring to the attention of the world media the plight of children such as her who are prevented from learning. Think of her parents. For them, they would have longed for their child to carry on with her education, but in the same way would have longed for her to just keep quiet and just carry on as best as she could. All of us who are parents struggle with this idea of what is best for our children. As a father, I know only too well what it's like to have a rebellious teenager. And it wasn't planned. It wasn't set out that my daughter would be such a young mum. But when I witnessed how she responded, I could see in the eyes of that health visitor someone who actually expressed she knows what she's doing and she's a good mum. What or how we interpret what is best for our children may seem a total nightmare in this chaotic world. But for Salome and for Zebedee, they had to learn a hard lesson. That their sons could only achieve what they had set out to do by humbling themselves before God. And then eventually they too, out of the hands of even Jesus himself, would take their rightful place in the kingdom of God. When your parents said to you, "We want what is best for you," I wonder if you responded in a positive or a negative way. For my late father, who was a farmer, coming from a long generation of farmers. I broke the news to him once that I had no interest in farming whatsoever. And I thought, this is going to be very hard. And his response to me was, I only want what's best for you. And then in brackets said, good, because I'm selling the farm and I can live on the rest of my life in luxury. Not quite the response I expected. Perhaps for those parents, James and John, it was not quite what they expected. But at least today, we are inspired by that account of the Gospel of Mark, also found